In this episode of Viral Rewind, we're looking at the CTX Windows virus. Now, this is a 32-bit virus, so it's compatible with Windows 9X and NT systems, but we're only going to look at it here on Windows 98 because when I tried it on Windows 2000, it seems to cause problems. So it seems to have some issues with Windows NT systems, but works fine on 9X. So that's what we're going to look at it on. So CTX is a worm, and you generally get it via email. And when you get it, it'll come in a message, but it won't say CTX.EXE like this. Instead, it will actually be named setup.exe. And when you get CTX and you run it as setup.exe, you get this little dialog error message. It says, cannot open file. It does not appear to be a valid archive. If you downloaded this file, try downloading the file again. And this is actually just hiding what CTX really has done. What it has done is it's copied itself to the Windows directory, and in the case of Windows 9X, it has modified the win.ini file so that it will automatically launch on boot. So let's go into the Windows directory. And it doesn't copy it exactly as CTX or setup.exe. What it actually will do is try to masquerade as a Windows service. See, here it is right here. RPCSRV.EXE. So it's trying to masquerade as the Windows Remote Procedure Call Service. So it's copied it there. And then if we look at our Windows ini, you'll see there's a run command here for RPCSRV.EXE. So it will launch the CTX worm virus next time Windows is started. And what that will do is it will search out 5 files to infect at a time every time CTX is run. So on the next boot, it'll infect 5 more files because we've already infected 5 files running CTX once already. So let's go ahead and restart the computer and talk about some of the other stuff that CTX also does. Booting back into Windows here. So as Windows boots up here, we don't see it, but CTX loads up again through that remote procedure call service program that it dropped to the Windows directory, and again is getting run through the win.ini, through the run command that we saw inserted there. So CTX is run again. It's infected 5 more files, but again we don't notice it. Now CTX has 3 specific things that it does. The first is what we just discussed. The second thing is because it's a worm, it wants to spread onto other machines and infect those machines. So the second thing it does is that it enumerates the network resources. If it's connected to a network, it'll look for any other Windows computers on that network and copy that same RPCService.exe file to the Windows directories on those computers and modify those win.ini files on those remote computers so that anytime those remote computers start, then CTX will infect those, and it will again infect files on those and try to spread to other machines on the same network. The third thing is also because it's a worm, it wants to try to spread through email, just like how you got it in the first place. So it'll look for things like Microsoft Outlook, Internet Explorer, EasyFTP, MIRC, Telnet, whatever it can use as a way to determine that it's connected to a working network. And then it will search on the computer for HTML, .text files, anything like that that it can find email addresses from, and then send out an email with that setup.exe that we showed at the very beginning attached to it to whatever emails it can find, and then spread that way. So that's the 3 ways that CTX works to infect and spread itself onto other machines. So I ran CTX here a couple of times and I'm not hearing it infecting any more files. So I'm going to go ahead and jump the date ahead 6 months. So this is April, that would make it October. And just to see what it's going to do, I'm going to restart Windows. And there's your payload. It inverts the graphics on the computer there. So whatever color is, it inverts it. So we're going to be loading back into Windows 98 here, and you're going to see that payload of CTX trigger multiple times here as it loads those infected files out of the Windows directory when Windows starts up here. So you'll see that color inversion happen several times where things go inverted, then back to normal, and back to inverted, like it's going to be doing now. So it's already loaded one infected file that's inverted the colors. The next one is going to return them back to normal. Then now it's inverted again. Now it's back to normal. We should see it go inverted here again. Yeah, it's inverted again. Back to normal, back to inverted. So essentially, if you're the end user, this would probably be driving you nuts already. Seeing the colors on your desktop go from normal to inverted and back again. And as you see, it's distorted the colors of our taskbar when it does that too. Wait for Windows to fully load here. So Windows is fully loaded. So if we run any infected program, again, most of them are all in that Windows directory, it's going to invert the colors on the display. So let's see, Notepad. Yep, it's one of them. So we've inverted our colors here. Let's open sound recorder. Again, the sound recorder is infected, so it also inverts the colors. Let's see. How about volume control? Yeah, volume control is infected too. Calculator. Now you see, calculator is not infected because we didn't invert the colors. Neither is Microsoft Paint. Microsoft Paint is not infected. But if we run Notepad again, we invert our colors again. So again, it's not all the applications in the Windows directory that's infected, but the majority of them are. So again, you get this color inversion every time you execute one of these programs. And again, this only happens 6 months after the initial infection. Any other times you're not going to see this color inversion. So that is pretty much it for the CTX Windows worm.